This is the Rabbit Report. I am Rabbit, and tonight, as I promised, we're going to be opening these Amber Collection Jurassic World, I guess technically Fallen Kingdom action figures. So I've got Owen Grady, aka Chris Pratt, here, and I've got his, pet Velociraptor Blue. Which of course is a repaint of the Velociraptor that I opened last night. But I mean, blue's so cool. I love that. And I actually do have the other Velociraptor right here to compare to blue. I mean, they're the same figure. It's just a repaint, but it's very cool. I'm very excited about this. So I was thinking, while I work on this, I can talk a little bit about Jurassic Park versus Jurassic World. And I'm wondering, what is your favorite Jurassic Park movie? Is it the original? Did you like Jurassic World? Personally, they're very different. I love them both. And I was thinking about this, Jurassic Park has had a budget in 1993 of $63 million. And in today's dollars, that's like about $112 million, as opposed to Jurassic World, which had a budget of $150 million. So fairly comparable, but I mean, in terms of gross, Jurassic World blows it out of the world. I almost said blows it out of the world, blows it out of the park. That's not a thing. Blows it out of the park? That's not a thing. Why would they say that? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, Jurassic World made about $1.6 billion. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it was the biggest film of the year, when it came out. I can't remember what else was big that year, but I mean, 1.6 billion, almost $2 billion, that's Avengers money. And it's so funny because I feel like there's this perception that a lot of people didn't like Jurassic World, or this perception that it's not a good movie. I loved it. I don't know. I don't know why people didn't like it. Oh, of course you've got your Amber stand here, but I'm not going to use that. So what was I going to say? Oh, so Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, made just a little over $1 billion. I mean, which actually at the time was the biggest movie in the world. I think it replaced E.T. as the top film of all time, and of course both Steven Spielberg movies. Steven Spielberg just always kills it. But I was thinking, I also looked up other films that came out in 1993. 1993 was a killer year for films. And also, I mentioned in the last video, it's coming right off of T2. So two huge films in terms of leaps forward for special effects. But also, the other films that came out in 1993, The Fugitive, Groundhog Day, Nightmare Before Christmas, Demolition Man, Schindler's List, all huge films that are really top on my mind in terms of some of my favorite films from my teenage years. I mean, I was in high school when those in 1983, so it's definitely very nostalgic to me. But I want to tell me in the comments below, what is your favorite Jurassic Park movie? Did you number 2, Lost World's okay? I think it's kind of the disaster. The second half of that film is the disaster movie where the T-Rex is chasing people around, I guess San Diego or LA or whatever. I can't remember. But I mean, it's basically Godzilla. I mean, that's essentially what they're trying to do, right? Did you like 3? I don't really remember 3. Some people hate it. I don't know. Like, it's probably not that bad. But I don't know. I'm usually not that critical about stuff. Like, unless I really dislike something, I'm generally not going to be that critical about this, especially like popcorn movies. Like, I just love going to the theater, like having that experience and like having the social aspect of like seeing a film and be like, oh, what did you think of like the blue the Raptors like teaming up with Owen, and like Chris Pratt is super cute and really charming. Like I don't know, that's a fun aspect to me. But tell me below like what your favorite Jurassic Park movie is, or like maybe what your favorite like 90s movie is. I'd really be curious to hear about that. And actually, I want to give a shout out to my friend Siaya. Hey, for giving me the suggestion to like ask about like favorite Jurassic Park movie. Like maybe tell me about your favorite dinosaur film. Is it like Land Before Time? Is it like I don't know, what else is it? What's a good like dinosaur movie? I can't like I'm totally blanking, but I'm sure there's like some good like I don't know, educational movies, dinosaur movies, maybe. Jurassic Park's kind of like it. Jurassic Park's like really a classic now, isn't it? All right, so let's get Blue off the package. Of course, Blue has the beautiful blue markings. I wonder if dinosaurs actually had markings like this. As we know, like raptors didn't look like this. So they were like really small. They're I'm like 6 feet tall. They were like 3-4 feet in height. Not that big. Like pretty small. And they also had feathers. They were covered in feathers. So they did not look like this at all. But I'm not gonna really go over the articulation for these figures. I went over the articulation for the figure, the Jurassic Park figures yesterday. So if you want to know about the articulation, you can check out that video. But I'm actually very, very pleased with these figures from Mattel. And they've got like the dinosaurs in particular, I think have more better articulation than the human figures actually. But I love this kind of like rubbery posable tail that the raptors have. They're fun. So here's the two raptors side by side. But they're really fun. I really enjoy them. So let's get Owen open. And when I'm opening this, like, makes me think, like, I don't know, like, what are some of the other like franchises that you liked or that you're still very nostalgic for? Maybe as an adult collector or something that you enjoy. Tell me about that. I want to know. What are you doing to, stay sane while we're all like stuck at home, while we're all like sheltering at home? Are you staying safe? Are you staying home? Like, hopefully you're not going out and doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing right now, like let's keep the community safe. But I don't want to talk about like quarantine. Let's talk about toys. Like, are there some toys from properties that you loved as a child that you're really looking forward to? Like, for instance, I know they're coming out with Hasbro's coming out with brand new Ghostbusters figures, and I am super excited about that. Like, and they're in the same scale as what is Marvel Legends and like what's the? I'm totally blanking. Marvel Legends, and what's the other big Hasbro line? Oh, Star Wars Black Series. So that's cool, and they've got like, like they look like they have the same articulation as those figures. I know also the G.I. Joe Classified is also coming in that scale, so I can't wait. So Owen, you can see he comes with 2 extra hands. I don't know if can you see. It's okay. Like Chris Pratt, I might make a good. I was thinking about this. It might make a good not Chris Pratt, Star-Lord custom figure possibly. I don't know. Give him a little. Maybe you can find some headphones or something like that. Maybe it's like casual Star-Lord. I don't know. To me, like Chris Pratt kind of like always plays the same character. He's kind of always the same guy, sort of goofy, like adventuring type. There was a lot of rumors about him being the new Indiana Jones, and I really would have loved seeing that. Got a little open hand here. What's your favorite Chris Pratt movie? I mean, for the longest time. Well, I'm not. I wasn't really that familiar with Chris Pratt. I never watched Parks and Recreation, so whatever. Don't at me. But so I never really knew him as like goofy Chris Pratt. But for the longest time, Guardians of the Galaxy was my favorite Marvel film because it was like the story of like these misfits that like they all had tragic backstories, and like it was kind of like the story of like orphans, and they were misfits, and they somehow like they were all the F-ups, and they all learned how to like get along and basically be the heroes that the galaxy needed. So anyway, here's your Owen Grady. Again, like decent Chris Pratt portrait. Very cool. Like I feel like the elbows could be a little better, but this his shirt sort of gets in the way. Great, pretty okay articulation in the torso there. The ball, it's got like a ball joint. Pretty good movement on the legs. Really good double joint from the knee, so that's really nice. Look at that splits. That's great. That's crazy, right? Like, what? I mean, I don't even really understand why a figure needs to do that. I can't do that. Can you? Tell me if you can do the splits. I can't do the splits. I think this it's got a rubber vest. Can actually come off. I'm not gonna take it off. Like I'll never get it back on. And then it also does come with this knife. You can see, and I think it goes in the sheath in the back here. I don't know if it actually wants to. It's really rubbery. It's really weird. So I don't know if it actually like fits in there. I don't remember him having a knife on the back of his belt. Like that does not want to go in. And to be honest, I might just like leave it out. So I might have him like hold the knife like this, maybe. That kind of works. But anyway, I will have like a 360 turnaround for you, and you can check that out right now. All right, so I've got Blue the Raptor and Star-Lord, aka Owen Grady, aka Chris Pratt, on my turntable, so you can get a nice 360 view of the figures. Again, I do really enjoy these Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom figures, and you can still find them on Gamestop.com. Remember to do all the things like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend about this channel. I'm hoping to grow this channel and turn it into the community that I know it can be. So that will really help me out. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Rabbit Collect, as well as at The Rabbit Report on Twitter. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're staying inside, and wash your hands. And thank you for joining me on The Rabbit Report. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, whoa there. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe.